Hey guys, it's Shamika, and I'm back today to make Southern mixed greens. My mixed greens consist of kale, turnip, and mustard greens. In the pot, I'm going to add some oil because we're going to saute the yellow onions and fresh minced garlic. On the chopping block, I have a smoked turkey leg that I put in the oven just to heat up a little bit. We're going to use that for the flavoring of our greens. And then I also have seasoned salt, salt-free Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, onion powder, garlic powder, 2 red Thai chilies, and 2 green jalapenos. So I'm sauteing the onions and garlic now. I'm going to take off a chunk of the turkey leg. And then you'll see I just added the whole turkey leg to the pot. And my greens, they are the pre-cut, pre-rinsed bags of greens from your local grocery store. And I also added the juice that's within this foil. And that juice is just basically I took some of my Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken paste with a little warm water and added that to the turkey leg prior to me heating in the oven. Okay, now I'm going to take some more of the Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken paste and add that to about 2 cups of warm water to make a stock and add to the pot. I'm going to cook the turkey leg down just a little bit prior to adding my greens. So I'm adding it to the pot now. And I'm using smoked turkey leg today. This was for a customer, but you can use any smoked meat of your choice, whether it be smoked turkey legs, smoked turkey tails, turkey necks, even a turkey wing. I personally like smoked ham hocks, or you can even do a smoked joel, which is just a thick cut bacon with the rind still on it, or even a salt pork. I would boil the salt pork first just to get some of that salt off of it prior to adding to your greens. Now here we have the first round of greens. And if you haven't cooked greens before, then you should know this will be done in stages. It may look like a lot of greens right now, but keep in mind these will wilt down in the pot. And we're going to also add more oil. Each time you add your heaping of greens to the pot, you want to add maybe a tablespoon or 2 of oil and more seasoning, because we're adding flavor as we cook the process, going through the cooking process. So here I'm just adding the oil after I've added my second heaping of greens. I'm going to add garlic powder, my Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, salt free. onion powder, and then we're going to also add the seasoned salt. And keep in mind too, um, you're adding the seasonings and the oil as you go through the cooking process. You can always taste as you go as well, just to see where the flavor is and what what you like. Maybe you want to add more of any of the combinations of the seasonings, or even with the peppers. I'm adding two at each intervals of the cooking process. But the peppers are just for flavor. They're not adding any heat to the greens. And especially if you don't puncture the peppers during the cooking process. This is not made to make the greens spicy, but if you do want to kick it up a notch, you can also add red pepper flakes. I would also start with that, maybe about a teaspoon or so. Allow those to cook down, and then towards the end of the cooking process, if you feel you want to add more, add more. Okay, we're going to put the lid on it. And also, when you're cooking greens and trying to break down the smoked meat, you definitely want to make sure you have that lid on. And if I hadn't said already, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I definitely want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. So right here, I'm just moving the greens around, and I try to make sure I keep my pot about half filled with water or with the chicken stock. I don't like my greens to swim in water, but definitely, you want to make sure you keep water in the pot to help break the greens down and your meat. So you will be adding more water throughout the cooking process as well. Now I'm adding that oil. And like I said, you're adding maybe about a tablespoon or two each time you're adding the oil. Your greens will not come out oily or anything like that, because keep in mind, as long as it takes to cook greens, which is a couple of hours, um, the oil that you are putting in there, some of that will cook off, so you will not have oily greens, especially if you are only adding a tablespoon or two each time. I know some people even add a heaping of butter at the very end, and that's just for flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and cook these down, and then I'm going to add my second batch of greens as well. Here's my second batch right here. And it's just a repeating process. You're going to cook the greens down, add another heaping of greens with another tablespoon or two of oil, your seasonings, and because we're not actually using white salt right now anyway, then I would be mindful of how much seasoning you're adding, but you don't necessarily have to worry, because nothing that we're adding so far has a lot of salt in it. So as you can see, I've added all of the remaining of my greens. I'm going to add a few more tablespoons of oil, a little more seasoning, the last of the yellow onion and the remaining two peppers. And I'm also going to add more water because this has maybe another hour and a half or 2 hours to cook. You're going to cook it to your desired tenderness of the greens. Greens take a long time to cook down, or to get tender, I should say. And you always want to, keep at least a half a pot of water or chicken stock in your greens. And remember, always keep that lid on while it's cooking. And then also at the very end, you will see that I'll add about probably a teaspoon, no more than a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. A lot of people like a vinegar taste in their greens. And I find that the apple cider vinegar, once it has cooked down, it adds just a little sweetness to it without adding sugar or anything, but also giving you that slight pickled taste from the vinegar. And then also, prior to me adding the apple cider vinegar, I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to cook it down probably for like another 30-45 minutes because I still have that smoked turkey leg in there. And I took the remaining meat off of it and chopped it up, and I added it to the pot, as you can see right here. And I'm just tasting it for the taste. And you can also add the red pepper flakes, as I may have mentioned earlier, because the peppers, we're not using them for spice, we're just using them for flavor. But the customer that I was making this for doesn't really like a lot of spice, so I didn't add the red pepper flakes to this pot. But I will be adding the apple cider vinegar now. And like I said, just about a teaspoon, no more than a tablespoon. Just a quick little splash. And then when I put the lid back on, this will finish the cooking process. Probably at this point another 45 minutes or so. Thanks so much, guys, for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos as well.